Brothers and sisters, first of all I'd like to thank you for your patience. There's been a great number of speakers that have gone into the independence campaign in quite a considerable detail. When I was sitting down at tea time tonight trying to think of what to say tonight, I think most of us are looking for inspiration, things that will inspire us to take this campaign forward over the next 6 months and move towards victory. And I watched a programme last Saturday night which filled me with hope and optimism, and it was a film called Made in Dagenham. And the film told the story how 183 women in the Dagenham calf factory waged a historic battle for equal pay. That battle was victorious, and what followed was acts being passed not only in the UK but across the industrialised world to provide equal pay for women. And I think that to me tells you just how powerful our trade union movement can be at its very best. And it is an honour to speak at tonight's meeting on behalf of Trade Unions for Independence and also the PCS Yes campaign. Last summer I attended the first Trade Unions for Independence meeting in the Yes Scotland office in Glasgow, and I expected it to be a fairly limited turnout. It was called at fairly short notice, and I was absolutely delighted to see that there was a large number of brothers and sisters there, and that they represented a large number of trade unions, and that there were men and women of all ages present. And what we were all in agreement was that we needed to win the hearts and minds of the 630,000 trade unionists in Scotland, and that was absolutely critical in order to secure a yes vote. We also agreed that a statement of aims was necessary, a trade unions manifesto, if you like, that would set out our aims and objectives so that we could continue to convince our fellow workers to vote yes. And it was also agreed to set up individual groups within trade unions to mobilise for a yes vote. And Yes PCS followed as a direct result. And I'm proud to have played my part in building both organisations, but I would also like to pay particular tribute to John Davidson and others for their sterling work to build a strong, vibrant Yes PCS group. And I think it's also fair to say, and who can argue when you look at tonight's turnout, that we are proud to be part of a mass, growing, progressive, vibrant movement. And of course, brothers and sisters, the trade unionists' vision of independence is clear and it's distinct. We believe without any shadow of a doubt that we need an independent Scotland. But we don't just want a Scotland that will swap the Union Jack with the salt tyre and leave it at that. We currently live in a UK where the richest tenth of households are now 273 times better off than the poorest tenth. We live in the UK, a UK where the gap between the rich and poor continues to grow, and where 50,000 people rely on food banks every week. And we live in a UK where we can always find money to wage wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and at the very same time we see pensioners dying because they cannot afford to heat their homes. And this depressing scenario in the UK shows no sign of ending. And the Tories and New Labour plan more savage cuts regardless of who wins the next election. Brothers and sisters, the last 35 years for the trade union movement, I think, have been incredibly difficult, because in almost every sector, workers' rights have been eroded, wages and conditions have been attacked, and our right to fight back has been seriously undermined by a whole raft raft of anti-union legislation, and Boris Johnson's comments last night revealed that there's more to come. And that is why Trade Unions for Independence produced a charter of demands that is all about turning the tide and ensuring that we can play a big part in the new Scotland and ending poverty and inequality. We want an end to the Tories' anti-union legislation, and we want in their place a set of rights that provide real protection for workers. We want to make sure that every worker should have the legal right to join a trade union without fear of discrimination and bullying. And we want an end to the scandalous privatisation of our key services like buses, railways and energy providers. These need to be renationalised. We want to end Trident. We want them removed from our shores at the earliest opportunity. And we want to end the scandal of poverty pay. We want to pay a real living wage. We want a welfare system that looks after our poor and the vulnerable and stops demonising them for a crisis that they did not create. And of course, we need jobs for our young people, for our unemployed. Let's start building houses. Let's invest in clean, green energy and start the job of combating global warming that is so vital. And let's start taxing the rich properly. Let's end tax evasion and avoidance that's been taking place on an epic scale. And brothers and sisters, it can be done. In 2012, the richest 100 Scots increased their net wealth by £21 billion. If we make the right choices, we really can create a Scotland that looks after the millions. Let's stop squandering money on bullets and bombs, and let's spend money in public services and decent places. I'm absolutely confident that the PCS people in here can win a yes vote in favour of independence at our conference on the 22nd of February. I'm also confident that we can deliver a historic yes vote on the 18th of September 2014. My final point, brothers and sisters, is that I'm a lifelong socialist and a member of the Scottish Socialist Party. Now, from me and for many hundreds of thousands of trade unionists, this vote is not at all about nationalism. It's about creating a better society that will be a beacon of hope to trade unionists across the planet. Because we want to continue and fight poverty and injustice, whether it's in Bannockburn, whether it's in Blackburn, or whether it's in Bangladesh. Join with us in the struggle to build a better Scotland and a better world. We can win.